help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts on the video. Your feedback helps make the contents better. Now let's get to the story.
My wife stood in our living room, arms crossed, with that look on her face. You know the one. The "I've already made up my mind and you're just an obstacle" look. "Emma needs her real father in her life," she said, like she was discussing what to have for dinner. "If you don't like it, we can get a divorce." I remember staring at her, waiting for the punchline. Surely this was some kind of joke, a test maybe, but Jessica wasn't laughing. Her ex-boyfriend, Marcus, had apparently decided, after 7 years of being a deadbeat, that he wanted to play daddy again, and my wife of 6 years was just okay with it. "So that's it?" I asked. 6 years of raising Emma and I'm just supposed to step aside because Marcus finally remembered he has a daughter? "Don't be dramatic, Owen. Nobody's asking you to step aside, but Marcus has rights. He's her biological father." Biological father. Those words hung in the air like a bad smell. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. If this story resonates with you, please subscribe and ring that bell. And for our friends in the US and the Philippines, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your voice truly matters to us, and it helps us grow and connect on a deeper level. My name is Owen Mitchell. I'm 34 years old, and I work as a senior project manager for an international consulting firm. I'm the guy who reads bedtime stories, who learned to braid hair from YouTube videos, who sat through every single school play and parent-teacher conference. I'm the guy who held Emma when she had nightmares, who taught her to ride a bike, who helped her build that solar system model for science class at 2 in the morning because we both forgot about it. But apparently, none of that mattered, because biology trumps everything, right? "Fine," I said, and Jessica blinked, clearly not expecting that response. "Fine?" "Yeah, fine. You remember that transfer to Japan I turned down 3 years ago? The one I refused because I didn't want to uproot our family? I'm going to call them tomorrow and see if the offer still stands." Her face went pale. "You're not serious." "Dead serious, Jess. If Emma needs her real father, then you don't need me here getting in the way. I'll even make it easy for you. I'll take the apartment in Tokyo, you stay here in the house. We can figure out the divorce details through lawyers." I didn't raise my voice, didn't slam doors. I just went to the bedroom, pulled out my laptop, and started typing an email to my boss in Japan. Jessica followed me, suddenly backtracking, saying she didn't mean it like that I was overreacting. But here's the thing about disrespect. Once someone shows you they don't value you, they've already done the damage. The words are just confirmation. That night, I slept in the guest room. The next morning, I had a response from Tokyo. They'd love to have me. When could I start? 2 weeks, I typed back. Jessica spent those 2 weeks oscillating between anger and panic. She'd gone from, "If you don't like it, leave," to "You're abandoning us," real quick. Emma, my sweet 8-year-old stepdaughter, didn't understand why I was suddenly packing boxes. "Are you coming back, Owen?" she asked, holding her stuffed rabbit, the one I'd won for her at the county fair. I knelt down to her level. "Your mom and I need some time apart, sweetheart, but I want you to know that I love you very much, and that doesn't change, okay? Is it because of my dad? My other dad?" Kids are too perceptive. "It's complicated, Em, but this isn't your fault. None of this is your fault." She hugged me, and I had to fight to keep it together. This was the hardest part. Not Jessica's betrayal, but leaving this little girl who I'd raised as my own. Marcus, by the way, had started coming around. He'd show up unannounced, playing the cool dad with expensive toys and promises of trips to Disneyland. Jessica ate it up, convinced she was doing the right thing, giving Emma a relationship with her biological father. She'd bought into his redemption arc completely. I'd seen his type before, the guy who shows up when it's convenient, when the hard work of parenting is already done and wants to reap the benefits. But I didn't argue. I just kept packing. The day before my flight, Jessica dropped a bomb. "We're spending Christmas with Marcus and his family." It was November. Christmas was a month away. I'd already be in Japan. Emma's excited. His parents want to meet her. It'll be good for her to have that extended family. Sure, whatever you think is best. The lack of fight seemed to unnerve her more than any argument would have. I left for Tokyo on a Tuesday morning. Jessica drove me to the airport, still trying to convince me this was a mistake, that we could work things out. I kissed Emma goodbye, told her to be good, and walked through security without looking back. Tokyo was exactly what I needed. The job was demanding, the city was massive and anonymous, and I could lose myself in work 16 hours a day. My apartment was a sleek high-rise in Shibuya, all modern lines and city views. I dove into projects, made myself indispensable to the Tokyo office, and tried not to think about what I'd left behind. Then, 1 week after I landed, my phone rang at 3 a.m. Japan time. Jessica's number. Owen? Owen, I need you to come home. Her voice was shaking, crying, the kind of crying that comes from genuine panic. What happened? It's Marcus. Oh God, Owen, he's not who I thought he was. I sat up in bed, now fully awake. Jessica, what happened? The story came out in gasps and sobs. Marcus had been playing the long game. He'd seemed so genuine, so reformed, so eager to be a father. But it turned out Marcus had a little secret. He was being investigated for fraud, big-time fraud, the kind involving millions of dollars and a Ponzi scheme that had collapsed, leaving dozens of investors broke.
Ponzi scheme that had collapsed, leaving dozens of investors broke. He'd been using Jessica, getting close to her again, playing happy family, because he needed someone stable to hide assets with. He'd convinced her to open a joint bank account for Emma's future, and before Jessica even realized what was happening, he'd deposited money into it, money that was now being traced by federal investigators. They came to the house, Owen, FBI agents. They're saying I could be charged as an accomplice. They froze our accounts, all of them. I can't access anything. And Marcus is gone. He ran. Nobody knows where he is. I sat there in my dark Tokyo apartment, listening to my wife, who'd thrown me away for this man, completely fall apart. What do you want me to do, Jessica? Come home, please. I need you. Emma needs you. I made a horrible mistake. I can prove I didn't know anything about his business, but the legal fees. Oh, and I don't have anyone else. The old me would have been on the next flight. The old me would have rushed to save her, to fix everything, to be the reliable guy who cleans up other people's messes. But that Owen had died on the flight to Tokyo. I can't just leave, Jessica. I have a job here, commitments. You made it pretty clear that you and Emma needed her real father. How's that working out for you? Don't do this, please. I know I hurt you, but Emma is suffering. She keeps asking for you. The kids at school found out about Marcus and they're teasing her. She had to talk to FBI agents. She's 8 years old, Owen. That got me. Emma didn't deserve any of this. I'll think about it, I said. I need to make some calls. I hung up and stared at the Tokyo skyline. Then I started making calls. Not to book a flight home, but to lawyers, my lawyers, the best ones money could buy. Over the next few weeks, I watched from 7,000 miles away as Jessica's life imploded in slow motion. The FBI investigation revealed that Marcus had been planning this for months. He'd targeted Jessica specifically because she was stable, employed, and still in love with the idea of the family they could have been. He'd manipulated her perfectly, and she'd walked right into it. Jessica wasn't charged, ultimately. They determined she was a victim too. But the damage was done. The joint account was seized. Her personal accounts were frozen during the investigation. She'd missed mortgage payments. The bank started foreclosure proceedings on the house, my house, that I'd been paying for. She called me almost daily, begging, crying, apologizing, promising she'd do anything to make it right. I sent money for Emma, gifts, video called with her regularly, but I didn't come home. I didn't send money to Jessica. 3 months after I left for Tokyo, I filed for divorce. Jessica didn't contest it. She couldn't afford to. The settlement was clean. She got nothing except freedom from our marriage. I got to keep my assets, my peace of mind, and my dignity. Emma was the hard part. She didn't understand why I wasn't coming home, why her mom was so sad all the time, why they had to live with Grandma and Grandpa now. I had to explain, in 8-year-old terms, that sometimes adults make choices that hurt other people, and sometimes those choices can't be taken back. "Do you still love me?" she asked during one of our video calls. "Always, Emma. Nothing will ever change that. You're my kid. Biology doesn't matter to me. But your mom and I can't be together anymore, and that's not your fault. I miss you. I miss you too, sweetheart." The divorce was finalized 6 months after I left for Japan. Jessica had to move in with her parents permanently. She'd lost her job, finally, when the company decided the negative publicity was too much. She tried to find new work, but her name was too tied to Marcus's scandal. Every Google search brought up the FBI investigation.
Meanwhile, I was thriving in Tokyo. I got promoted, started dating a brilliant marketing executive named Yuki, bought a second apartment as an investment, learned Japanese, built a whole new life. Jessica sent me an email on what would have been our 7th anniversary. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness," she wrote. "I know I destroyed everything good in my life. I just want you to know that you were right about everything. Marcus didn't want to be a father. He wanted a Mark. And I was stupid enough to believe him because I thought I was doing what was best for Emma. But the best thing in Emma's life was you, and I threw that away. I threw you away. I'm sorry doesn't cover it. I'm sorry doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry anyway." I read it twice, then deleted it. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just living well while the person who wronged you faces the natural consequences of their choices. Sometimes it's being the bigger person by removing yourself from the equation entirely. Sometimes it's knowing that you offered love and stability, and they chose chaos instead. A year after I left, I flew back to the States for a week. I took Emma to Disneyland, just the two of us. She was 9 now, taller, more serious. We spent 3 days on rides and eating overpriced theme park food and pretending, for just a little while, that the world wasn't complicated. "My mom asks about you sometimes," Emma said, as we watched the fireworks on our last night. "Yeah? She says you were the best thing that ever happened to her, and she messed it up." I looked down at this kid, who'd been through more drama than any 9-year-old should face. "People mess up, Em. It's what they do after that counts. Your mom is trying. I can see that. Do you still hate her?" "I never hated her. I was just hurt. Really, really hurt. And sometimes when people hurt you that badly, you can't go back. Not because you hate them, but because you love yourself too much to let it happen again." She nodded like she understood, even though she probably didn't. Not really. But she would, someday. I dropped Emma off at Jessica's parents' house on the last day of my trip. Jessica came to the door. She looked tired, older. The sparkle that had first attracted me to her was gone, replaced by something harder. Life had not been kind. "Thank you," she said, "for taking care of her, for still being in her life. She's my kid. That doesn't change." Jessica nodded, tears in her eyes. "I really did love you, Owen. I still do. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone." I looked at this woman, who I'd once planned to spend my life with, who I'd built a home with, who I'd loved completely, and I felt nothing. No anger, no love, no hate, just a distant sort of pity. "I know," I said, "but that's not enough anymore." I hugged Emma goodbye, told her I'd call her soon, and got in my rental car. As I drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror. Jessica was standing in her parents' driveway, watching me leave, looking like she'd lost everything. Because she had. And the beautiful thing? I didn't feel guilty about it. Not even a little bit. She'd told me to leave if I didn't like it, so I left. She'd chosen Marcus over our family, so I chose myself. She'd prioritized biology over commitment, so I prioritized respect over history. That's the thing about revenge. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone live with their choices while you go build something better. I flew back to Tokyo the next day. Yuki picked me up from the airport and we went to our favorite ramen place in Shinjuku. My phone buzzed. Another email from Jessica. I deleted it without reading it. "Everything okay?" Yuki asked. "Yeah," I said, and meant it. Everything's perfect. Because it was. I had a great job, a beautiful girlfriend, an amazing city to explore, and a clear conscience. I offered Jessica everything I had, and she threw it back in my face. She'd gambled on Marcus being the better option and lost everything. And me? I'd walked away from the table entirely and built a new game somewhere else. That's not revenge. That's justice. That's self-respect. That's knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. Marcus got 15 years in federal prison. Jessica's reputation never recovered. She eventually found work as a receptionist, making a third of what she used to. She still lives with her parents. Emma sees a therapist twice a month to deal with the trauma of that year. And I send Emma birthday presents from Japan, call her every Tuesday and Saturday, and fly back twice a year to spend time with her. But Jessica and I don't speak beyond logistical emails about Emma. That chapter is closed. That book is finished. 6 years of marriage, 6 months of destruction, one decision to respect myself enough to walk away. Best decision I ever made. So, that's my story. Sometimes the best revenge is just refusing to be someone's safety net after they push you off the cliff. If this story resonated with you, drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing our community grow, and honestly, it's wild to see how many of you are going through similar situations no matter where you are in the world. We've got an incredible audience here in the US dealing with these exact dynamics, and our viewers from the Philippines have been sharing some of the most insightful perspectives on family loyalty and knowing when to walk away. Your comments actually help other people realize they're not alone in these situations. So, go ahead, drop your location below and let me know. Would you have done the same thing, or would you have handled it differently? I read every single comment, and your stories matter. And if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, we've got more stories coming that'll make this one look tame. Until next time, remember, never let anyone make you feel like you're disposable. You're not a backup plan. You're the main event. Peace.